Hello everyone and welcome back to Paranormal Time. Today's video is all about paranormal. Whether you are a believer or a skeptic, there is no denying that the idea of ghost spirits and other supernatural entities has captivated people for centuries. In this video, we'll be searching some of the most compelling evidence for paranormal activity, sharing some of the most chilling stories of ghostly encounters, and discussing some of the most popular theories about what lies beyond our realm of understanding. So turn off the light, grab a blanket, and get ready to explore the mysterious and often terrifying world of the paranormal time. Let's get started. This is the last part of Site Crazy Nasir's story. Nasir's wife, unable to find any other way, began reciting the Quran loudly. At one point, Nasir pushed her and told her to be quiet. The children were also shocked to see such behavior from Nasir. However, his wife continued reciting the Surah quietly. At one point, Nasir sat on a corner of the bed like a lifeless body. After being very agitated for some time, his wife spent the night with their children and now felt more worried about what happened. The next day, she told her mother-in-law that if this continues, then how will she stay with him? Her child cannot sleep because of all this. She prepared herself to take Nasir urgently to an elder's house when he would leave home too that they could talk about it. But when they entered the house, they found no sign of Nasir and the door was open. Now Nasir's parents scolded his wife and left their son alone by throwing him out of the house. Everyone searched for Nasir together but eventually found out from some children in a nearby paddy field that he was sitting there crying while eating muddy soil. Everyone was amazed to hear it. Some of Nasir's relatives ran toward him. They carried Nasir away from the paddy field with his strength. His body had terrible power and 5-6 people were needed to hold him down at home. If he is in such a state now, it is impossible to take him to the great imam. However, Nasir's uncle and 2 others quickly gave news of this incident to the big mosque after Maghrib prayer and agreed to come for a short time. The imam came and sat in front of Nasir. He asked his father was doing, but there was no response from Nasir. After a while, surprisingly enough, the Imam himself said, "Assalamu alaikum," Islamic greeting, and asked if everything was okay with you. "Are you here?" The Imam replied that, "I am fine. How are you? Say hello for me." Imam said, "No, I will not eat anything. Give me your hand." Imam held his hand and recited Surah like we used to do in the past. But from a little later, Nasir started behaving strangely, as if doing some strange behavior. He was moving his hands like a snake and trying to grab Imam's hand one by one. As he tried to grab Imam's hand with more force, Imam also held it tightly, using all his strength and at one point of time. Despite all of his efforts, Nasir was unable to let go of Imam's grip and was screaming terribly. His words were very frightening that even lookers had to move away from some time. After a long struggle, Nasir finally fell asleep on the ground, exhausted from fighting Imam's grip. Seeing this condition of Nasir, his parents were shocked beyond belief. Imam held onto Nasir's hand and earlobe for almost 15-20 minutes until there was a slight change in aggressive attitude for Nasir, who closed his eyes in exhaustion after struggling so much against him. Then Imam told them to lay him down on the bed and said that he would sit beside him while performing Asr Namaz, afternoon prayer, and they should take care of these things. After the prayer, Imam came and woke up Nasir. He asked for his name and Nasir replied correctly. Imam then introduced himself to everyone in the family so they could know each other better. Another person who had come with Imam gestured toward him and said that he was feeling unwell at that moment, meaning that he should do his work properly. For a long time, Imam recited Quranic verses in the glass of water and placed it in front of Nasir, asking if he saw anything beside him or felt afraid and anyone around him or if anyone wanted to say something to him. At one point, Nasir wore black clothes when he arrived. Everything seemed dark around me except for the door where several people were standing outside waiting for me. Imam told me to look towards the glass and see if I could see anyone looking back at us through it. Nasir did not respond, but later Imam asked again whether we could now see them. Although Nasir didn't reply this time either, I knew they were still there because my body felt heavy whenever they were nearby. After trying for a long time, the Dakotas failed to call them even though they tried. They are not giving and leaving in unfinished state like that day. They say that someone should stay by their side who can read the Quran, try with him to pray and recite the Quran. When Imam was leaving, Nasir's father told him that they were trying desperately to seize Nasir's body but could not do it completely, so he stays alert all the time. Even if he forgets at night, he may not be able to leave his house. If he gets scared at night, eat these things and drink this water which will calm his body down. For now, send some advice to their wife and mother along with children for a few days. Imam left saying this. At that time of night, around 2:30 am, Nasir's mother was praying while her wife was sleeping praying beside her, and Nasir's father was outside. Nasir's mother told his wife to go sleep as she had work tomorrow. She would keep watch over him instead. When Nasir's wife closed her eyes for a bit, then sometimes even Nasir's mother closes her eyes but does not get any rest. Suddenly Nasir gets up from his bed and slowly walks toward the door that was left. His family members were alert and held him back, telling him not to go out. But he broke free from their grasp and started walking straight ahead with great strength, pushing away the hands of two people who tried to stop him, some young men in the area who were outside for a late night chat or cigarette saw Nasir walking towards them but did not dare to stop him. Behind him, his mother and wife looked on helplessly as 4 or 5 others held them back, realizing that Nasir could no longer be stopped. When one of them said that when he tried to hold Nasir's hand, he looked at me with terrifying eyes, so I let go of his hand. Later, when others tried to hold him down again, I grabbed onto him once more. Then they took him inside forcefully and tied him with ropes. This incident became widely talked about in the area. In 2018, I went to roam around my house one day in the afternoon. Then I was looking for my mother and someone told me that she had gone to the neighbor house with some dried clothes. Later when I came out, I saw my mother talking to a woman. When I called her, she signaled me that she would come soon. Then when my mother came back, I asked her what she was doing there so long, and she replied with a big sigh saying, "What can I say? Nasir is no more." Oh God, is he really dead? The whole family life has ended behind him running away. I said there is no solution, and in response, she said that he did everything but gained nothing. Now how crazy he behaves. A few days later, we heard a lot of commotion against us. Nasir appeared again. It was around midnight. Then when I went out with great desire to have a look, and what did I see? You can see it in the picture yourself. He was taking garbage from someone else's drains for away from his home. I quickly took this picture without any delay or hesitation. Even 2 or 3 months ago, We could know that this boy is still alive, but they left this area because of many complaints from residents here. His wife and children couldn't leave due to fear, so they left elsewhere. Basically, it was known the elder imam that situation was critical, so he made his utmost effort. However, there is no solution to sub problems. So this is the end of the story. So there you have it, folks, a glimpse into the mysterious and often terrifying world of the paranormal time. Whether you are a believer or a skeptic, there is no denying the enduring fascination that people have with ghost spirits and other supernatural entities. We hope you enjoyed this video and that it has left you with some new insights and perspective on this intriguing topic. As always, thank you for watching and we will see you in the next one. Until then, stay healthy, stay tuned, see you in the next episode. Good night.